Hey everyone, we're live again inside the group where I'm coming to you today, shining a light on the mistakes that I made the mistakes that I made that actually stopped me from hitting my first six figures. And it wasn't until I realized the mistakes that I'm making that I actually hit my first six figures, right? Because I would have been able to stop doing those mistakes, understanding those mistakes, and start pivoting to doing the right things. Now, if you've been following this sequence of material that I've been putting out there, these trainings that I've been putting out there over this last week, you'll realize that a lot of the things that I'm actually sharing with you is not necessarily strategy based. And the reason why it's not necessarily strategy based is because strategy is the easy thing. Understanding the strategy in order to get leads, get clients, book calls, make sales, right, is the easiest thing. And to shine evidence on that and to showcase evidence on that, like, let me ask you a question. How many other coaches have you invested into, yet you've not got the results that you want? Let me ask you another question. How many webinars have you attended? How many blog posts have you read? How many podcasts have you listened to? How many seminars have you attended? How many live streams have you been on? How many trainings have you consumed? How many Facebook groups are you part of? Whose email list are you on? How many people's email lists are you on? How many trainings do you get sent each and every day by people that you're on their email list? How many blueprints have you downloaded onto your hard drive, yet you've consumed them, yet you've not implemented them? You've not executed on what you've been shared or what you've been shown, right? So that shows evidence that it's not all about strategy. Success is not all about strategy. So today I want to shine a light on something that I did not do in my first 18 months of being in the business that stopped me from hitting my first six figures. Yet once I started doing this, right, things totally changed for me. Right? And yesterday or the day before, I talked about when I came back from a business retreat. Within 10 days, right, I generated £76,000 worth of new business where I got 70% cash collected, right? And because this is one of the things I'm going to share with you today that allowed me to do that. And it wasn't strategy based. Strategy is like a skill that you can learn. All right? Anybody can learn a new skill and then they develop on that skill set, perfect that skill set until it works for them, right? So strategy is not the be all and end all. So what I want to shine light on today is in the first 18 months of me being in business, I wasn't being congruent with the things that I said that I wanted to attract, which meant that I was living out of alignment, which meant that I wasn't living with integrity. Now today, integrity is one of my highest values and I live with, right? And I live by. I know that if I'm not incongruent with the things that I say that I want, if I'm living out of integrity, like things are not working for me, right? I am not generating the results that I want. And this is not just in business and success, but it's in life in general, right? With my fitness, with my health, with my spirituality, with my faith, with whatever, right? Okay, so let's talk about this. And the reason why I want to shine light on this as well is because I see a lot of coaches, right, making the same mistakes, making this specific mistake. So I've got notes on my computer here, so I'm going to be referring back to these as I'm speaking to you guys here. So understand this, right? There's a principle that it always is in play, and if you're out of alignment with this principle, then things are not going to work, right? So this principle of project and reflect. What you project into the world will reflect back at you. Now, one thing that you need to understand about me, the way that I coach, is that I am not an airy-fairy coach, right? I am not one of these woo-woo coaches. Right? I am very, I cut through the BS. I tell it as it is. I'm very direct. I'm very blunt, right? I say things that create upset sometimes, and it's not to hurt you or hurt anybody or to make anybody feel uncomfortable, but it's just to shine the light on the things that need to be worked on in order for you to get a realization and awareness that what you're doing is the way that you should be doing things to help you to move forward, to start generating bigger, better results faster. Okay? So, project and reflect. Think about this. So what you project into the world, right? The world, the universe will reflect back to you what you project. And here's the thing about this. You cannot disguise this. You cannot think, well, this is not going to appeal to me. This is not I'll just pretend, right? It doesn't work that way. It does not work that way. So let me get through this. So I thought, right, I was telling people that they needed a coach, but I didn't have a coach. I was telling people I wanted to attract people that made decisions on a call to actually invest in my services. Yeah, I wouldn't, right? I would jump on a call with somebody and I'll be like, okay, well, I need to think about it, right? Just give me some time. I'll get back to you in 3 or 4 days, right? Let me just look at resources. Let me look at how much I've got to spend, right? Well, I like what you're talking about and I can see how it can work, but I just need to think about it, right? Those are the things that I was saying. Yeah, I wanted people to make quicker, faster decisions on calls. Yeah, I wasn't that person. Right? Let's have a look at another one. Right? I wanted to attract people that were willing to pay premium prices, but I didn't want to invest in premium prices. I didn't want to invest at that level. Right? So you can see I was out of congruence. I was living out of congruency. I was living out of integrity. I wasn't in alignment. With what I wanted. Another one, I wanted to attract clients that was willing to stay the course, right? To go through all the way through the program, not to hide in the shadows, not to be fully committed. Yet when I invested at a low level or invested at all, right, I would start something, but I would never finish it because I got focused on something else. So can you see how I was, for the first 18 months of me building my business, I was totally out of an alignment. I was living out of integrity with the things that I said that I wanted. I wasn't congruent. I was saying one thing, but I was operating on a different level. Let's dig into this deeper, right? Because these are the conversations that you've got to have with yourself. And these are the conversations that I have with my clients, right? And these are why my clients, right, generate the results that they have. It's not necessarily all about strategy, right? Strategy, yes, we need the strategy, but if you're not the person that you need to be in order to attract the things that you want, then strategy is not going to work. Strategy is not going to work, right? So somebody, or my coach at the time, right, shined light on this, right? Shined light that I wasn't being congruent with the things that I wanted, right? So what happened? Well, I needed to become a different person. I needed to up level. I needed to raise my own standards, right? If I wanted something, I needed to make sure that I was living in alignment and being congruent with the things that I wanted. So let me just showcase a few of these things, right? So if I wanted people to invest in me, then I need to be prepared to invest in myself. If I wanted people to invest at a premium level, then I needed to be prepared to invest at a premium level. If I wanted to attract clients that was willing to play a bigger game and to go all in, then I needed to raise the bar on that. And I needed to make sure that when I invested, I fully was committed to making it happen. And I went in and I played big and I made sure I got the results. If I wanted to attract people that were going to show up more powerfully, then I needed to show up more powerfully, right? Can you see how by becoming more in alignment with the things that I wanted, then I would track that again, right? Project and reflect. What I was projecting to the world, right? The world was actually giving me back. So if I was at the time for the first 18 months, I would, right, attract clients that were non-committal. I would attract clients that weren't willing to invest at a premium price point. They wanted low ticket. They wanted to invest at a low ticket offer, right? They would ask for a discount. They would pay the invoices late, right? They would do all the things that I was doing at the time. So in fact, the world was giving me what I wanted. The world was giving me what I wanted. So if I wanted something different, I had to raise my own standards. I had to raise the bar for myself first, start doing the things that I wanted to attract, and then that actually, it started working. It wasn't long, right, before the world saw me operate at a different level. It wasn't long before I actually started attracting people at the level that I was operating at. Right? Again, this is powerful stuff, right? That not many people is willing to have this conversation with you, right? They're just selling strategies. And if you're just buying strategies and you're thinking, well, why is it not working? Well, this is the reason why. Because success is not all about strategy. Makes sense? If you've got any questions around this, or if it makes sense, then let me know underneath this. Let me know if you catch this live. If you're catching this on a replay, let me know if you catch this on a replay. If you've got any questions around this, then just ask underneath. And I'm going to love you and leave you, but just have a think about this, right? You know, if you're trying to escape this or hide this or pretend that, you know, well, I'll just pretend that I've got a coach, or pretend that I'm investing at a premium level, or I'm pretending that I'm invested $10,000 and I'll attract people that's willing to invest $10,000. I'll pretend that it doesn't work like that. You cannot hide this. You cannot like pretend that you're doing this. All right. Okay then guys, I'm going to love you and leave you. I hope you found that useful. Some food for thought there, right? Some food for thought. Okay, so I'm going to be coming to you tomorrow with another mistake that I made. That once I eliminated, that my business started shifting. Okay then guys, I'm going to love you and leave you, and I'll speak to you tomorrow.